We're here today with Rash Boogie. He has a new project coming out. Rash, you grew up in Camden, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what part did you grow up in?
I grew up in the Fairview section.
Okay, all right. So how did you actually get into music?
Music, I mean, I started listening to it. I forgot how old I was, but the first song I heard was OPP by Naughty by Nature. From that point, I was stealing my mom's old tapes and listening to them. She really wouldn't let me listen because there was a whole bunch of cursing, but I mean, you know how kids are, so I did that. The first time I wrote a bar was probably in 7th grade, just messing around with a couple of my boys, really nothing serious. I didn't really start, really writing until freshman year of high school. I was a, new kid at the school in the back of a bus. A couple of my boys, a couple of them are still my boys to this day. Rapping, spitting a couple bars, freestyling. Again, nothing serious. And I was back there, I was jamming. Like, yo, Rashawn, spit something. They didn't call me Rash back then, but yo, Rashawn, spit something. Spat a couple bars, and that was it. I started writing. And I started recording in junior year, and that's what really jumped off.
Okay, so is that roughly 10 years you've been taking it seriously, so to say?
Roughly, yeah, roughly.
Okay. How do you describe your sound and style of music?
Sound, you know what? I never really had an answer. Every time people ask me that, it's like, I mean, the most I could say is I'm on the conscious side of things. I mean, but I kind of experiment sometimes. Like, sometimes like I get inspiration from all genres of music. I mean, I listen to hip hop. I listen to metal, alternative. I'm listening to John Mayer right now. Like, that's one of my favorite artists. But I mean, just to show you, how far, like how wide my horizon is when it comes to music. But I get all inspirations from like all genres, so I really can't describe my sound. Like, I don't know. I can't answer that right now. Maybe like when I get older and when I get more established, maybe I can answer that question. But right now, I have no idea. The only thing I can say is I'm on the conscious side of things.
Okay.
That's the only thing I can say.
All right. And you are a producer as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you do a lot of production, or is it 50-50? How do you balance that with actually writing?
It's kind of spread out. Like, I'm more I was gonna say my passion is more in the writing and production, which comes like right after that. And I also mix too. I also engineer. I mean, I've been pretty much doing the whole nine since I started. I mean, I didn't really have no money to go to no studio, or I never really had much to to really put a big budget behind what I'm doing. So, I always did everything myself. I never paid for any studio time. I never had to. I mean, because I knew what I was doing. I went to school for engineering, but I kind of just do everything equal.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Do you have a favorite artist?
Another question I can't really answer.
just name two people that you're enjoying at the moment. Besides John Mayer.
At the moment, I was right at the moment. I'm listening to the Foreign Exchange, with Fonte and Nicolay. Listening to them right now. Them along with myself. But I mean, just to name some artists I listened to growing up. I mean, Jadakiss, Nas, Talib Kweli, Kanye. I can go on. I listen to everybody.
0 to 100 grand wow. Get your chance now. But it's the greatest the world has ever seen. I've never been out the country before. I got the dream. It's better than till it happens. This world's come between. Just bringing these lips to the fouls that air.
So now let's get into your project.
Okay.
All right. Now you're following up this album. There it is. You're following up this off of your previous album, Camden City Blues, which was a great album. Was that actually your first release?
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, these are mixtapes. These aren't albums.
I call them all albums. You put the work into it, I call them albums.
Like, everybody calls it albums for some reason. I'm like, yo, it's a mixtape. Like, there's nothing album about this. I mean, but I guess the way how it flows, it flows like an album. But I mean, I got a whole bunch of industry joints on here, so it's far from an album. But but my bad.
No, but so was Camden City Blues your first release?
Yep. Yeah.
All right. So and that could be downloaded from that Piff
That
and,
Piff.
And also I have you on CamdenOne.com, so
Oh,
they
word.
can also
There we go. Camden One.
check you out there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now with this particular track, I'm talking about Where Would I Be? It's track number 2, and there's dialogue from you and another person. I presume about you and music, and I just want to know who was that, and how did that conversation even come about?
Oh, that was actually my pastor, AT Sauce. Kingdom, what was it? What's the website? KCCinternational.com.
Okay.
That's his website. But that was actually my pastor. It was a meeting about maybe 3 years ago that we had. It was a business meeting where, you know, some of the brothers from the church come together and we discuss business pretty much. I mean, because basically we, you know, we're geared towards, you know, being a ministry of businessmen. So, you know, we gathering around and we're going about, you know, talking about different businesses that we're trying to build up. And we was going around the table and eventually came to mind, you know, at the point I was, you know, working on, you know, I was struggling with opening my production company pretty much. And, you know, he was basically asking me like, you know, what are you doing to, you know, start it up? And I really didn't have no answer. I wasn't really organized. I was, you know, I was kind of like, you know, procrastinating with it pretty much. And then he went off and he just pretty much was like, yo, Rash, I don't think you believe it. I don't think you believe in yourself. I mean, as much as you know, I say. And I mean, I really couldn't say nothing because it was true. I mean, like, I struggled my whole life, you know, trying to believe myself. I mean, if that was the case, I probably would have been on like years ago. But I mean, but that's how that conversation came about. And I remember I recorded that on my phone and I pulled it up, and until I put it on there, like, it's still it stings to listen to it. You know what I mean? Because it was a moment where I was being dealt with. I mean, with some of my an area in my character was being dealt with. So yeah, it was. I found that moment, but like, I mean, throughout the mixtape, it's like key moments. I mean, that I try to piece together. I tried to piece it together to compensate for the mixtape feel, for the industry feel, because I didn't want to just be like a simple mixtape, you know, with a whole bunch of tracks put together. I mean, I wanted to piece it together somehow, and that's how, you know, that came about.
This happens way too many times. We should be doing better. Need I might remind? We had some years to get it right, but never mind. School zone, empty bags. I mean, really, can I say more? We've been some years, we been at each other's throats and got the nerve to want to wage war. And how silly are we? We the laughing stock of this whole planet. How was this? We killed to see the riches. Do I really see us getting there? Yeah, without a doubt. But it's been a lot of pain with no way else to let it out. We see a building attacking, our first thought is to burn it down. And best believe we expected to see it turn around. But meanwhile, we got a few nations that want us dead with a dream. You see what happens when you take God out of everything? Listen, this whole system is designed to fail us. We have a purpose, they doing inch to derail us. Prisons are for profit, they want to jail us. They favorite team the Blazers, how far can they trail us? And it's about time we stop asking for respect and start respecting ourselves. And when that's true, we can then come together for the better good. United we prosper, divided we fail. The rough divide.
All right, you seem to put a lot of personal experiences in your rap. You must have had an exciting childhood.
Exciting? What? You know, I had to. You know, I was a regular kid. I wasn't no thug or anything. You know, I wasn't in the streets. I had a regular childhood. You know, grew up playing video games. You know, going outside. You know, playing ball. You know, playing sports. You know, this is a regular childhood. Watch cartoons. You know, watch wrestling when that was popping. You know what I mean, you know, you outside, and you know, 8 o'clock comes. You know, everybody go inside. You know what I mean, because the Raw was coming on. You know what I mean, so. Regular childhood, you know.
Oh, okay. So what was the process like putting this album together, and why such a long wait between projects? I believe Camden City Blues was released in 2012.
2012, yeah. I'm trying to think, when did I kind of took a year off for like for a couple reasons. You know, one of them, my equipment was failing, so I couldn't really do much with the equipment that I had. And another was, again, you know, I didn't have any confidence in myself, so it was kind of like I was kind of like reevaluating myself, like, all right, boom, like, you know, what should I know my gift is music, but what should I be doing with it? I mean, I didn't want to just be like, you know, just writing just to be writing. I mean, and I was just basically plotting out, okay, how am I going to do this and, you know, get back. And slowly but surely, you know, I started getting the equipment back, you know, getting my stuff in order. And I'm like, all right, look, I mean, a fire was lit, you know, was relit. So it was just like, all right, well, no, let me do this project. And this has actually been maybe 3 years in the making, because there's been a whole bunch of times where, you know, I'll come up with a concept of a mixtape. I'm like, all right, boom, I'm gonna do this. You know, this coming out in maybe like a couple months, but I never really finished it. So it was just a matter of me finishing this one. You know, I came up with this this concept, the beta. It's called, my mixtape is called the beta. But I came up with this. I mean, just to put something out. Like, okay, yo, I'm here. I mean, you know, I'm here. I rap too. I mean, I'm pretty good. I mean, just seeing other artists from Camden doing their thing. You know, shouts out to Sal Fat. I mean, shouts out to Tracks. I mean, you know, everybody doing their thing. I mean, everybody doing their thing in the hood. So, shouts out to Breakthrough also. I mean, Breakthrough Entertainment. I see y'all. But
I wanted to ask you about Breakthrough Entertainment. Who is Breakthrough Entertainment?
Breakthrough. I say shouts out to Blaze and Marley on that one. But I mean, just a group of, you know, rappers coming together. And shout out to Eastside Horns, D-Ran. I mean, you know, we just coming together and just, you know, doing our thing, pretty much. You know what I mean? Just coming together on like, not in a group effort. I mean, because we're all individual artists. But I mean, just, you know, just coming together and just rocking out. You know.
And when will this be released?
This will be released on the 21st, this Friday, on RashBoogieMedia.com. You can check that out on Friday. Everything will come out. I'll have bonus material also, so be on the lookout for that.
All right, so what's next for you after this project and the website and everything? What's next for you?
What's next? I want to focus more on some production. I mean, 'cause I gotta get money in my pocket. I mean, that's where it's at. But besides that, I'm gonna expand my website and open an online store, you know, for my production. But besides that, I'm gonna be working with a few more artists and starting my next mixtape, the Beta 2.
Okay. Do you have any words of wisdom for any upcoming artists or producers?
Believe in yourself. I cannot stress that enough. Whatever your passion is, believe in yourself. I mean, that's the only way you're gonna get to where you want to be. Believe in yourself.
Besides your website, is there any other way people can keep in contact with you and stay up with your music?
You can catch me on Twitter it's Boogie856. I'm also on YouTube, Rash Boogie TV. Hit up my SoundCloud at Rash Boogie, as well as my Facebook at Rash Boogie. So those 4 things you can keep me I can keep y'all updated through those.